Look at all the legendary and historic black cities in America. Harlem was once referred to as the Black Mecca. During Harlem's Renaissance, it was not uncommon to see Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Bumpy Johnson, and Harry Belafonte walking around the streets of Harlem in broad daylight often. Atlanta in the 1970s was also termed Black Mecca. Like Harlem, it boasted a vibrant upper and middle class black communities that we deemed Black Mecca of the South. Washington, D.C. in the 80s was known as CC, Chocolate City. Rich with a culture of its own, Washington, D.C. was a power center, known for more than Chuck Brown, Trouble Funk, EU, and Rare Essence. These were thriving black communities during their heyday. They all had communities of black upper and middle class populations. They had black businesses that thrived, real estate development opportunities created by the likes of Herman J. Russell in Atlanta, Donahue Peebles in DC. These communities had strong black political power and black leadership. They were the centers of leading black educational institutions in the country. Their role shaped American culture through arts, food, and more deeply, music. Now, what happens to CC, to the black Meccas, when property values stay consistently low? Lower than comparable land values in predominantly white communities? Well, I will tell you, development, or some call it gentrification. In a capitalist society, gentrification just cannot be stopped. It is how we move our country forward in changing economic times. It is how we take advantage of natural resources, educated labor forces, and other geographical advantages of being close to commerce, airports, and seaports. Why do you think a city looks attractive to developers and Fortune 500 companies? What do you think makes a city look so attractive to an average investor? Well, there's one Black Mecca that is still ungentrified. A city that has a wealth of resources just waiting to be tapped. Whether or not Amazon sees the potential, many people do, and that city, my friend, is Newark, New Jersey. It's a reason Shaquille O'Neal, Queen Latifah, and now Naughty by Nature have invested in their hometown with significant real estate development projects. Listen, just like the Meccas of old, if you remove the most talented individuals from a community, the most educated, the successful individuals from that community will suffer blight. That community will have crime problems, and that's what's happening to Harlem. That's what happened in DC. The history of Newark is apparent. It is interwoven into the American history with Dr. Martin Luther King. It's time to go back to our Meccas. If you can't live there, it's time to reinvest there. Build generational wealth there. Why there? Because that is where the next wave of wealth will be created. Goldman Sachs knows it. They're investing more than $500 million in Newark to bring high-quality schools, jobs, housing, and space for businesses to grow into opportunity zones in Newark. Instead of listening to the uninformed that do not live in Newark, ask yourself, why is the smart money investing in Newark now? Is it the low taxes compared to the surrounding areas? The higher educational institutions and educated labor force that comes with it? Or could it be the fact that it is home to one of the country's busiest airports? Or is it the fact that it is home to a major seaport? Newark has everything from the manufacturing industry and proximity to the port, trains, and transportation. It is a technology hub. High-speed internet and culture thrive in Newark. It has a mayor that is committed to progress. The city is the largest city in the state of New Jersey and is a leading industrial center. Its manufacturers are highly diversified and include electronic equipment, leather goods, chemicals, rubber, jewelry, furniture, fixtures, textiles, industrial machinery, and food. Printing, publishing, and insurance businesses are prominent in Newark. And guess what? The most valuable real estate in the world, New York City, is just 30 minutes away from Newark. Currently, there's a strong trend of New Yorkers coming to Newark to live, work, and yes, play every single day. It amazes me, the very people that live, work, play in Newark don't often see it until the change has already taken place. But now is the time to go back to Newark, to reinvest in the opportunities that Newark has. Wealth would be created in Newark, and you should be a part of the movement to reinvest. The time is now. It's time to go back to our communities, our meccas, and recreate them, to be a part of the movement to gentrify them ourselves.
Yeah, so the idea really will be so dope is if developers can come together and everyone pretty much own their own individual units. But if we can develop as a community, we can change block by block. We can really make an impact in this city. And that's really what I want to build. Other investors, other people coming together in Newark, and collectively, we develop a whole area of the city. We own our own stores. We select who lives in those individual apartments and things like that. And that's how you gentrify a city all by yourself. So the time to invest in Newark is now.